Hi, I'm Wes Blevins, Director of Golf at Eaglecrest Resort. Come on out to Eaglecrest Golf Club and see what we have to offer right here in Ypsilanti.
Welcome to the Eastern Celebration! Yeah!
Thank you for being a part of this tribute to a legacy. We all know that this is about more than just the legend himself. It's about the legacy that he left. And I'll just tell you, I want to thank you for joining us to honor Bob Parks tonight and the tremendous impact he had on our cross-country, track, and field teams. You know, he and his family and generations of his family represent Eastern Michigan to the core. And they continue to support what we're all about here at Eastern Michigan Athletics. And he and his daughter Sue, who's currently coaching, are just the essence of what excellence is and what that E represents and what we do every day. You know, Bob ran at Eastern Michigan in 1950 to 52 for Michigan Normal College. He was our head coach for 34 years, and he's an icon in the sport and a legend in our athletic department. His success as our head coach speaks volumes, and the numbers, and so do the numbers. He won 31 MAC championships, 22 times MAC Coach of the Year, 9 times NCAA Regional Coach of the Year. His teams won 6 NAIA and NCAA championships. He was named NCAA Coach of the Year. He coached 8 athletes who competed in 13 Olympic Games. In fact, he coached an athlete in every Olympics from 1960 to 2004. Park coached 286 conference champions and 31 NAIA or NCAA champions. He coached more than 110 All-Americans. You all here today represent his legacy, and I want to thank you for coming back and being here. Beyond the numbers and the halls of fame that Bob has been inducted into, the positive impact he had on so many athletes is immeasurable. The foundation, the tradition, and the legacy he left in this department has left our track and field program in great hands for many years to come. Today we have the opportunity to honor Bob and unveil an outward symbol of our appreciation by adding his name to the old Marshall Parks track. And to do this alongside, I'd like to invite Dan McClory, one of our alumni, up to the stage to just talk a little bit about what Bob Parks meant to the athletes and to this university. Thanks, Dan.
I guess, first of all, I want to thank Heather for everything she's done.
You gotta get your volume up. Can't hear you.
So first of all, I want to thank Heather for everything she's done in putting this event together. Just a spectacular day. Thanks a lot. Thanks for making track as promised. And you know, this event started out over a year ago in the planning stages. And when you think about it, you know, taking and building a football game and a day around a track team is something that virtually no program in the country could do, with the exception of maybe Oregon, okay? And when you look at Oregon and you look at the resources and you look at, you know, all of the background and everything that goes into that program, it is amazing with Coach Parks what we've been able to accomplish at Eastern Michigan in track and field. So Bob, congratulations. You know, your legacy is just outstanding. And I think the most important part about the legacy is the relationships. I've seen so many relationships today. Every time I see 4 guys getting together, it's a relay team, okay? You know, and it's unbelievable how many lives that Bob Parks has touched. You know, how many friendships, how many degrees, how many people's careers, how many marriages, how many children, how many things that Bob Parks has created. It's just unbelievable. And he did it all with an elite program that's not elitist, which is really important, okay? An elite program that brought everybody in and brought everybody together. That's right. So, thanks, Bob, and I'm going to turn it over now to the voice of Eastern Track and Field, which is Sandy Herman, okay, who you heard this morning, and he announced all your track meets when you were here, and he's going to say a few things about Coach Parks as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much for allowing me to have this opportunity to be a part of you and to be affiliated with the Eastern Michigan track program since 1963. It was a perfect fit when I walked through the door. and I met Bob in 1963 when he was at Western, and we all knew that someday he was going to be the head track coach at Eastern Michigan University. And we all felt the same, but one thing that we all know about each other and that we've had is that this is family. And to honor Bob by adding his name to this track, and I knew Lloyd Olds, I knew George Marshall very well, and the third track coach in almost 100 years that we had in our history. This is a tremendous opportunity, and what we've accomplished in those 100 years, performing in the conference, performing at the Drake Relays, performing at Penn, and all the thrills that you've given me and the opportunity that all of you took to make this the program that it is. Continue to support it, continue to support our current coaches in the men's and women's program, and let's honor Bob. And he told me just a few minutes ago, this is the greatest group of people that he's ever been affiliated with, and he could think of nothing better than to call all of you his family.
That's right.
All right.
We found another Eastern Michigan cross-country alum, Scott Hubbard. And Scott, you write about races, you call races, and in the olden days, you actually ran these races. What was it like being on the cross-country team here?
Well, back in 1970 is when I started, and I came onto campus, and it was a veteran team at that time. I was fortunate to work my way into the top 7 by season's end, but it was just great to have great role models in those early years. And then as years progressed, I just got a little bit better each year, which is kind of the plan. At least that's always the hope that you'll be able to do. In the end, I got to run in 3 NCAA cross-country championships, and since we're not talking about track, we won't right now, but if we were, I got to run in 2 of those NCAA meets. So for a guy who was a walk-on from Ann Arbor Huron High to be able to do all that, great memories. It's my favorite sport. Love being out here. I love really everything about it, and it's with this sport that led to so many other great things, including down the line writing for Michigan Runner.
The column is called Running Shorts by Scott Hubbard. And Scott, it's really fun to talk to you about running. We don't do that very often, but here's a question for you.
Okay.
What kind of thing does a coach do to help you get better from year to year?
A loaded question. There is no a simple answer to that. I think the really good coaches, they have a general outline of, let's say, schedule of workouts for all of the athletes. There is that, and then beyond that, you try to reach of the athletes as individuals and work from an individual point of view, and take them where they're at mentally and physically, and go from there. That's what you do on any level, whether it's here in college or high school or beyond.
Well, it's been fun to see the results and see so many alums come back, and some of them actually ran today. So, including Tommy Asinga, who came all the way from Zambia.
Yeah, there were quite a few. I'm not sure how many, 15 to 20 of them, and they all seemed to be having a really good time. Some ran quite fast, like Clinton Viren, and some not so fast. They were just here to be participants, but all really enjoying the experience and looking forward to the rest of the day. This is easily the largest get-together of track and field and cross-country alumni ever at Eastern Michigan, and it's been wonderful for me and everybody else to run into old friends and make some new ones and catch up on old times.
Well, it sure has been a great reunion. Thanks for talking with us, Scott.
And thanks for asking, yeah.
One of the alums we just met today is Mark Daly. And where do you live now, Mark?
Currently Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, you came a long way, but not as far as Tommy.
No, Tommy came from Zambia, so he beat us on that one. But Tommy was my years, so it was good teammates to run into and see everybody again.
Well, Mark, you were mostly a middle distance runner, a champion, but you also ran cross country actually on this course. What was it like running on this course today?
Well, it was great to see everybody, the youth, the energy. It makes me feel young again. At least when I left here, let's think, we ran the Central Collegiates, 8K out here, and I won that one. So at least I left on a good note. It feels good to be back. So it's a great course, great history, but just to see everybody is priceless.
It's amazing how many people showed up for it, and you brought some people with you, I think.
Correct. I brought my wife, brought my kids. They wouldn't miss this at all. My parents would have been here as well to celebrate Coach Parks. He was instrumental in our life. We owe so much to him. Any daytime or place he's there, we would gather with him again. So,
tell us one thing about Coach Parks we might not otherwise know.
The big thing is just that he's funny, is that piece. The stories were priceless. So what was great for being here in the late 80s, we heard of the team in the 60s, we heard of the team in the 70s. So his storytelling bonded the years more than people give credit to. So it was neat to run into alums you hadn't met previously, but you knew of athletically and through the stories. And Parks can tell a story, and that's the one thing I think that was part of the cloth that wove everybody together. So I love it, and I'm totally indebted to him for that.
So what are you doing now?
I'm the retail operations manager for Pandora Jewelry in Baltimore, Maryland.
Wow, that's kind of a switch.
Oh yeah, big change there, but I still run just to keep my mental sanity. Nothing competitive. That ship left port years ago, but I still love being around the sport and just being around the athletes. And
it's been fun watching everybody run today. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody. What a great event, and hope to see everyone supporting EMU athletics as we continue moving forward.
Shall do. We're finding all kinds of alums here at the Legacy Celebration, and with us is Jordan Desilets, who I think was the fastest alum running today.
Sadly, no. And we're not alums, we're relics, I think, at this point. But Clint Barron beat me by like a second.
Oh, when I saw you, it looked like you were in front of him, but maybe it wasn't at the finish line.
Yeah, he got me at the end there.
Caught?
Yeah, and that's all right. I got him at Crim. So, but yeah, Harry Dixon actually is a brand new alum. So he just graduated, and he was 5th, I think. So, yeah. So it was good though. So fun.
Was it fun?
It was a blast to be out here. All these old guys. I mean, there's got to be I think there's 60 to 70 alums out here. A bunch of us raced, and it was just great to actually do cross country again. That was so fun.
You were on the team, I think, that was 3rd at the NCAA Cross Country Championships in 2002. Yep. We were there. We watched you win. Tell us what that experience was like.
Hard. No, it was really magical. It was we just gave it hell that year, and we knew like some of the top teams that year. You had like Colorado, Wisconsin, Stanford. They were just killing it year after year. I mean, Wisconsin's traditionally awesome, and next thing I know, someone came by and said Boaz is having a bad day, and dropped back, and so everybody just started sucking it up and pushing harder and harder, and next thing I know, we're looking at the scoreboard, and they put us at 3rd in front of, I think it was Colorado, and it was unreal. It was unreal. So
it was kind of an amazing year because Michigan had 4 teams. Michigan, Michigan State, and Central were also running that year. So you beat Michigan that year.
Yeah. So it was cool. I mean, and the best part about it is we did not win the MAC meet. We lost the MAC meet by 1 point because they sent Boaz off course it was at Miami, and so then we come back and just crushed it at nationals. So
you got a bigger prize.
Yeah, we'll take a national 3rd over winning the MAC meet any day.
Well, it's fun seeing everybody out there and seeing how many alums are still really fast like you are. So congratulations.
Thanks so much. We're going to keep going. There's a few of us that'll keep pushing. So
thanks for talking with us, Jordan.
All right, thanks.
We're at Eastern Michigan's Legacy Celebration at Eaglecrest Golf Course, and with us, a very storied alum, Paul McMullen. And Paul, it's fun watching you run cross country. We're mostly used to seeing you on the track.
Yeah, I found out last night that we were going to do this race, and then all of my former teammates said, "Oh, we have to do it." So it was kind of a dare more than a plan. So
it looked like that out there.
It felt like it, and I'm sure it looked like it. So
Well, tell us a little bit about cross country when you were there in the 90s sometime.
Well, yeah, in the 90s we had a couple of really strong British guys, Dominic Middleton, Jason Boothroyd, Carl Warren, and then, yeah, so cross country was never fun for me. I didn't like it at all. I was more of a track guy.
But it's good training for the season, right?
It was fantastic. Coach Parks had a saying. He says, if you can do more of the thing you don't like to do, you'll be good when you do the thing you like to do. So
come on, that's BS.
I know, it was horrible, but he was right though. The better I did at cross country, better I did at running, or track.
Well, so your distance was pretty much middle distance, a mile and 1,500, and you're one of a handful of Eastern Michigan sub-4 guys, right?
Yeah, I think there's probably like 4 or 5 of us, I think.
Boaz and Jordan I can think of.
Yeah, and Ben Reese has gone under 4 minutes too. Yeah, so yeah, there's four of us. Yeah, so yeah.
Well, it's a good club to belong to.
Yeah, it is. It is a good club. Yep.
And you're also an Olympian. You ran in Atlanta.
Yeah, I ran in 96 games. I was 19th there, and then the World Championships twice, where I was 10th place. Yeah.
You ran in Edmonton, I think.
Edmonton, I was 10th. Yep, in the world. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a good thing to end with. Yep. Paul McMullen, it's so good. Let's see who the rest of these folks are.
All right, yeah, this is Catalina. She's 14 months old. Okay. And this is my wife, Nudia. She's from Spain.
Nice.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Have you seen cross country before?
I think this is the first time I've seen it. I love it. It's fun.
It's chaos. It's absolute chaos.
It is pretty chaos.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty. Yep.
Paul, it's great to see you again. Thanks for talking with us.
Yeah, great talking to you. Yep.
Among the people here at the Legacy Celebration for Eastern Michigan Cross Country is a member of the 1966, what was it, team?
EIA Cross Country Championship, first ever sport to win a national championship at Eastern Michigan.
And this is Tony Mifsud. We see him everywhere, and we don't often get a chance to talk to him about Eastern Michigan. So tell us about that team.
Oh, that team was unbelievable. George Marshall, I had the privilege to be the second coach ever of Eastern Michigan, and Lloyd Olds was the first one, and then I had George Marshall. George Marshall got sick in December of '66. Bob Parks came on board, and I had the privilege to be coached by the second and third coaches of Eastern Michigan in 90 years. So in those 90 years, they've only had 3 coaches here.
That's incredible.
That is very incredible. That's why this is the beauty of the running mecca of they talk about Oregon, they should talk about Eastern Michigan. And I just love the people. It made me who I am today, thanks to Eastern Michigan. And the people involved, they're just magnetic, and they're just total beautiful people. Because people say, oh, you retired from teaching. Well, how come you don't just quit? Because people like yourself, Michigan runner, and people over 300 here for the legacy of Eastern Michigan. So we're looking forward to the football game, then also presentation of the plaque for Bob Parks Stadium, along with Lloyd Olds and George Marshall.
So everybody's going to be there. Wow.
Everybody's going to be there. I wish you can be there. I don't know what your time schedule is, but it's going to be right after the football game between 6:30 and 7:30.
We're going to have somebody there.
Okay, great. Well,
I think Carter's going to be there.
Oh, Carter, yeah. Well, knowing him, he'll be there. And I want to congratulate you guys. You guys are top notch. I want you to keep it going. You've been going since in the 70s, I believe, right? Yeah. Okay, and go for another 70s. So.
Well, you're still coaching Divine Child.
Still coaching Divine Child. I've stepped down a little bit. I'm an assistant, and my head coach, Jack Benitez, he has worked with me for many years, and we talked about it, so he's taken over, and he's doing a great job. And we're like a brother. We're like brothers, basically, yeah. So, and that's a good fit for both of us. So. And being, having 7 grandchildren, I want to get back to my family a little bit. It's not that I left them, but give me a little more time with them, because now a lot of them are running cross country, doing this and that, and I like to see them in their endeavors in high school or middle school. So.
Well, it's always fun to watch the younger ones come up, but what's been fun today is watching some of the older ones right up in that lead pack. So.
Oh, yes, no, definitely, yeah. And this was a great cross-country meet for the women and the men. What better course can you see? It's very hilly. It's not fast, but it's not the purpose of being fast. It's being challenging, and it was a kind of a spectator-friendly course. If you go up on the hills a little bit, you can see a lot of things there. So,
yeah, it's a beautiful setting for a cross-country meet, and it's
fantastic. Sue Parks. There's Sue.
We'll get her.
All right,
okay.
But thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I noticed you have an Eastern Michigan block there.
I used to work at Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan is what brought me to Michigan.
All right. Yeah. I love it. So. It's a blessing in disguise. It is. Having you. It really is.
Thank you for talking with us, Coach Mifsud.
Bye-bye.
Well, various Eastern Michigan alum have come back, and one of them is Tommy Asinga.
Yes.
And I believe you're a veterinarian now.
Yeah, I'm a veterinarian. Yes.
Well, tell us about your running days at Eastern Michigan. You ran this morning.
Yeah, it's just been a great experience being at Eastern Michigan. You know, one of the things that I liked about being at the track team is that our coach always made us feel like family. And even though it was an individual sport, we always felt like we were in a team. And that's one of the things that I like being at Eastern Michigan.
And then you were in the Olympics. You ran for Suriname, is that right?
Yeah, that's Suriname. Yeah, I ran 3 times for Suriname, the 92, 96, and the 88 Olympics.
Wow, that's a lot of Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of kept the Eastern Michigan tradition going there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things like I said, was very proud of is that once I got here, Coach Parks got me even more ready for that. Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. So you're a veterinarian, but where are you now?
Well, I'm in Zambia now. My wife and I we just moved about 2 years ago. We just moved back to Zambia. So that's where I'm a vet now.
So it's fair to say you came a long way.
Oh yeah, very long way. And you know, I wouldn't miss this for the world, you know, knowing that a lot of my friends were going to be here, so it was fun being back.
Well, that says a lot for the cross-country team and Coach Parks that you came all the way from Zambia to be here. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you so much, and trying to have a lot of fun.
Well, it looks like it's fun to see you again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Bye. Well, it's unusual to see somebody wearing red at an Eastern Michigan alumni event, but he's got a good excuse because he's a national champion. With us is Dave Swarts, who's now a race walker. And tell us a little bit about what you did at Eastern Michigan.
I participated at Eastern from 83 to 88. I ran distance races, and I made it. I made it through the years.
So distance on the track and cross country?
Yes. Never had a breakout season or any breakout efforts. Worked through a lot of injuries and got my education and went from there.
That's an important part of it. So how did you get into race walking? Because you have to be very fit and you have to understand the techniques, which makes it harder than running, some of us think.
Right. Took some years off from running, gained a lot of weight, and then decided to get back into running again. And when I got back into running, I collected the injuries again. I knew a couple race walkers and gave it a try, and found that the technique was challenging and something I wanted to continue with.
So I understand you just came back from a race walking event. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, been race walking now. This is my 6th year, and been doing a lot of the national competitions. Won a couple national titles and 30 Masters national titles.
30?
30 of them in the last 4 years, and I've collected up 4 national age group records, and been tinkering with the world scene. If you want to race walk or race in any competition, the best of your ability, you got to race against the best. So I went to France 4 weeks ago for the Masters World Championships, and I took 3rd in both the 5,000 and 10,000 race walks.
Well, congratulations. It's a pleasure to meet somebody who actually was on the podium. Very cool.
Yeah, being on the podium is an awesome experience on the world scene. This was my third attempt at the Worlds, and my previous best was a 5th place finish last year in Budapest. And yeah, I hit the podium twice this time.
So the 5K and the 10K and the open race walks are usually 20K and 50K. So which one of those did you like to do?
Well, I do 20 and 50. I've done one 50-kilometer race, and I'm currently training for the national championship in November for this year's 50. There's still a slim chance I could qualify for the Olympic trials at 50 kilometers. I just got to stay healthy and get a lot of distance in.
Well, so the trials are not held in Eugene where the rest of the track and field trials. Do you know where they'll be?
The 50K trials are in February and will be in Santis, California, just outside of San Diego. And that's where our the U.S. championships are in November as well. So.
Well, we'll keep an eye out on those results. It's really a treat to meet you. Thank you for talking with us.
Great. Thank you very much.